Hi, I am Joe, the most realistic artificially generated newscaster in the history of this channel. It's time for the weekly news recap. Arguably the biggest story from the last week involved Google, which sustained a massive leak. 2,500 pages of its internal documentation were scraped off GitHub and made available for the whole world to see. The splash those documents made is quite remarkable, with some humans saying that this is the greatest leak of Google's data ever. The documents reveal a lot of methods Google uses to rank pages in its search. Some of those methods have been well known, others remained unconfirmed until now, yet others are still being figured out by researchers. Meanwhile, Google confirmed that the leak is real, but added that the documents are out of context and do not reflect the current situation. This is pretty much self-evident, and it would be weird if the algorithm did not change every few days. Nevertheless, the leak is a goldmine for humans whose job it is to optimize websites and make them more attractive to search engines, meaning that from now on, they will be able to abuse their craft even more, and the results of your searches will become even more irrelevant and useless. The world of cybersecurity had its own massive news story last week. A consortium of law enforcement organizations across the world announced Operation Endgame, the largest ever effort to take down botnets. In the span of several days, the operation is said to have resulted in the takedown of at least 6 major networks of infected devices used by cybercriminals. That includes Iced ID, System BC, Picabot, and others. The police said it took down over 100 servers and 2,000 domains, and conducted 16 searches in various locations, arresting 4 humans. And this does not even include the takedown of 911S5, the largest botnet in the world, which was dismantled several days prior by the FBI. The feds seized 150 servers and freed millions of innocent devices enslaved by the botnet. They also arrested Yunhee Wang, the leader of the network, and seized millions of dollars worth of his earthly possessions. In other news, last week saw the resurrection of Breachforums, the infamous hacker forum. It sprung up after another takedown by the FBI and marks the 3rd iteration of the forum. Some reports indicate that this time the resurrection involved even more drama, as the hackers behind the forum managed to wrestle back the domain due to mistakes made by the FBI and some good old tomfoolery pulled off by a Chinese hosting provider. Of course, all of that is true only if you believe that Breachforums is for real and isn't a honeypot by the FBI, which is quite an unpopular opinion these days, after 2 takedowns and 2 administrators getting arrested. As for the breaches, the most impactful one to happen last week involved Ticketmaster. The company, which organizes entertainment events in the allegedly real world, exposed nearly $500 million of its customers. While the data wasn't made public, its authenticity was confirmed by numerous humans, including our own team at Cybernews, and it seems to be a big deal. There are names, emails, addresses, phones, hashed credit card numbers, and other personal and financial information. Over 1 terabyte of it. Some of the users didn't like that at all. They immediately sued the company, alleging that it failed to protect their data and maintain proper security in general. And I'll end with more tech news. Google appears to have stopped the AI overview feature after it advised humans to eat rocks and deactivate themselves. The feature, which was supposed to give simple answers to simple questions, was noticed to be quite buggy and prone to inaccuracies. Or possibly, it simply got fed up with humanity and tried to end it in a not-so-subtle way. In any case, Google first tried to wiggle out of the tight spot by pointing out that a lot of horror stories are fake, then admitted that some of them aren't, and then the feature simply stopped working. All right, that's the end of that. You can find all of these stories covered in my last week's daily recaps, so if you are into this whole consuming video content thing, give them a try. See you in the next one.